So I was trying to be all princessy and on theme today. Yeah, because of the princesses. And I realized that I didn't have any kind of like crown or tiara, which is a damn shame because I really should get one. And then I found this. It's Natasha's flower crown from when we filmed Marley's Angels. And she played the Ghosts of Christmas Past. So hope it's cool, Natasha. I'm gonna borrow it today. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I cover nostalgic, obscure, otherwise strange content. Today, we're going back to the world of DCOMs. I have not covered a DCOM in so long. I don't know how this has happened, but I love talking about DCOMs. They are so funny, they are so silly and campy, and everybody's nostalgic for them. So I am going to talk today about the Princess Protection Program, which is a movie from 2009 that I was obsessed with. I was in middle school in 2009. I was right at that age. Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato were like the two biggest stars other than Miley Cyrus. And Disney Channel basically reverse engineered this movie backwards from the fact that I guess Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez were best friends.
Sorry we haven't made a video in a really long time. We've been separated for, I don't know, 3 weeks because someone left me.
Yes, I feel like we've been separated since, like, birth.
Where have you been?
On tour.
I guess their friendship relationship is like a whole thing. But at the time, they were best friends, and so they made this movie starring the both of them, and I used to love it. So I'm going to talk about that today. Let's jump into it. Oh, and right before we get into it, I know Demi Lovato uses they, them pronouns in real life. Their character in this movie is specifically written with she, her pronouns, so I'm probably going to use those for the character, but just so that you're aware, I'm not confusing that with Demi's real life pronouns. So we start off with Selena Gomez's character. She is kind of a tomboy type of character. She works at her dad's bait shop in Louisiana, and there's this guy who is the douchey popular kid that she's really into.
How much?
Free bait in exchange for never having to take the bus again.
She's given the cute guy free bait because he's supposed to drive her to school, and I guess this is like her plan to like start dating him.
So did he ask you to that homecoming dance thing yet?
Dad, don't embarrass me.
Bad ADR or sound engineering or whatever just happened there aside, this is Carter's dad. He is a great dad, but he is a dad in a Disney movie, so he's a little oblivious.
Donnie's driving us until I get my new ride.
But Donnie's already giving the mean popular girls a ride to school, so Carter gets kicked from riding in his cool convertible for dresses.
Brooke's already wrinkling my after lunch outfits. No, I'm not.
And by the way, side note, I did not know this when I was watching this as a 12-year-old. But this main mean girl, Chelsea, is played by Jamie Chung, who you probably know because Jamie Chung has been in a lot of things. She was Mulan in Once Upon a Time. She also is the voice of Gogo Tamago in Big Hero 6. She starred on a show called The Gifted, which didn't run for more than, I think, 2 seasons. But during the first season, I was one of the core background players. I was one of the mutants. If you watch that show when they're in like in the bunker and all the people with superpowers are like hiding from the government, I'm there. You can actually see me at least once in every single episode of the first season.
Who's with me?
I'm in.
I'm in.
My big TV debut aside, Jamie Chung is IRL one of the nicest people in real life. Like, seriously, why did I just say IRL and in real life? That's, never mind. She's the nicest person you will probably ever meet. She's one of the kindest people I've ever gotten to work in the vicinity of.
You don't need a costume change, but you might want to think about it.
And it's just so funny to see her be a mean girl in this because it's just great.
Thanks for the bait.
After she's just given this guy free bait, she still has to ride the bus, which is not cool, but then her dad comes in clutch. He's like, hey, honey, I'll give you a ride. In the way cooler Jeep that I drive, Carter's dad is pretty awesome.
They're such princesses.
You said that like it's a bad thing.
Yeah, Carter's dad is like, hey, Carter, don't come at us with the internalized misogyny. There's nothing wrong with being girly. We stan Carter's dad, by the way.
It's Mason.
You're leaving again?
2 days max.
But then Carter's dad gets a call from work, and this is the first indication that we have that Carter's dad does not simply run a bait shop in Louisiana. That's kind of just the front.
You and me, pal.
You and me, Dad.
He drops her off at school, and then we cut over to Demi Lovato's character, who is a whole princess.
Rosalinda Marie Montoya Fiore.
Rosalina. I love when people roll their R's.
My coronation is 1 month away.
They're doing a dress rehearsal for her coronation to become queen next month. It's giving very Princess Diaries 2 vibes, you know.
Who may I ask decided?
You did, Mr. Elegante.
This is her friend and dress designer, who is adorable.
Thank you for coming to help Rosalinda.
But Carter's dad is there on special assignment because they know that there's basically this dictator type dude who's trying to like steal the princess's crown.
I'll protect her like she's my own.
So he's there just to keep her safe.
Let us step forward and be heard.
And then in a very overly dramatic way, what happens, but lo and behold, that guy that they were afraid of crashing the coronation and trying to steal her crown does exactly that.
Two tiny countries who must unite.
1 month early, too. Really operating on the early is on time is late situation that my mom raised me by.
El presidente de la República de las Costas.
He's like, I'm king now, what are you gonna do about it? And then here comes Carter's dad coming in with the stunts. Look at this. Oh my god, the man is a superhero.
Go now with Major Mason. Go now!
So Rosalina runs away with Agent Carter? No, Agent Carter is from the Marvel Universe. Carter's dad, Major Mason. That's who he is, Major Mason.
Who are you? Where are you taking me?
Running in heels in that giant dress. Good for Rosalina.
All right, Mama.
Yes.
So she meets back up with her mother briefly, but her mom's like, look, here's the thing. You're gonna have to go into hiding, but I need to stay here because of reasons?
But I must say, so the people know that you will return.
No, not without you.
Right. So that the people don't think that the whole family has just abandoned the country. Somebody needs to stay and stay with the people. That's admirable. Okay.
We will be together very soon.
But they've got to get the princess safe because the princess is, you know, the one who is going to inherit the crown. She's actually the only person who can inherit the crown. I don't know why the king's surviving wife can't also be queen, but it's a whole thing. Anyway, Rosalina is 16, she's about to become queen. But first she's got to go into hiding in Louisiana. She and Major Mason escape in a helicopter just in time. Her mother gets taken into custody. This feels like one of those situations where her mother would have been outright unalived if it wasn't for a Disney Channel movie, so I'm glad that didn't happen.
I will bring her back to Costa Lula, where she will rot with her mother in a tiny dirt cell.
Rosalina's mother gets treated very well for a prisoner of war, or I don't know what you would call this, but she's a prisoner, and thankfully it's a Disney movie, so not a lot of violence befalls her, but she does end up being put in a jail cell.
What is this place?
I love how you can see which shots were done with a photo double. For any actor, really, but especially for actors under the age of 18, photo doubles are heavily used for anything that you don't need their face for. So anytime you see their hands writing or, you know, the back of them, a lot of the time it's a photo double because there's no need to take time out of the actor's already very hectic day for that. It's just very obvious to me which ones are the photo double shots.
Where am I?
She then gets put into a descending elevator. It's like something that you would see in The Incredibles.
Is this some kind of prison?
Not prison. Protection.
And they're like, hey, princess, you're in government protection now. Congratulations.
The International Princess Protection Program.
They're literally called the Princess Protection Program. That's the name of the movie. But apparently their job is to help princesses escape their country. How often does this happen? How many countries even have monarchies anymore? I guess it's a lot.
Come inside, why don't you? And I will explain everything.
But, like, they say that they have hundreds of princesses in their protection. What if, like, a prince needs help? Like, what, is it just princesses? I want to know, is there a prince protection program? Is there, like, a gender-neutral protection program for royalty? Or, like, government leaders? I have questions.
Major Mason rescued her from a politically motivated coup.
And she's like, it's fine, we got you. Look at this princess who comes from this beautiful land and now she's freezing her ass off in what looks like Antarctica.
She's freezing.
Probably, but she's safe.
She's not safe from frostbite, though.
What about me? Where are you sending me?
Nowhere yet.
So she's taken to this room where a bunch of other princesses are being made over to look like all-American teenage girls.
Until you are unrecognizable as princesses.
And the plan is to do the same thing for her, and then she can blend into society as an all-American teenager until it's safe for her to go back to her country and reclaim the throne. Kind of like Daenerys Targaryen, but with less dragons, I guess.
No, stop.
When they try to cut off Rosalina's hair, she's like, no, I only trust Major Mason. I need to talk to him. So they call him back in.
Take me back to my country.
She wants to go back.
I'll make an example of you by sending you to prison or a work farm.
Major Mason won't let her.
But what about my mother? Who's protecting my mother?
You are.
And he's like, look, this is how you can be a princess and help your country.
You may proceed.
So she goes back and she's like, cut my hair and give me whatever American Girl clothes you want to give me and I'll do it.
You are now Rosie Gonzalez, an average American girl.
With the only very slight name change, Rosie Gonzalez is now headed to Louisiana to bunk with Major Mason and his daughter Carter for the foreseeable future. For the foreseeable future. Why can't I say that word?
Welcome to Louisiana, Rosie.
Who wants to bet he hasn't told Carter yet?
Looks like someone's back home again.
Mason gets home on the bus because Donnie's a jerk who doesn't honor his deal to get free bait anyway.
Hello. Hey.
She runs into her room and there's just this random other girl and she's like, you're not supposed to be here, I don't think.
But it will feel much larger once I have that extra bed removed. It's not extra, it's mine.
It's like the feeling when you're given back your own money by the government at tax time. It's like, it's not extra money that I'm getting this year. It's my money that you stole from me, government.
Hey, pal.
Don't pal me.
So she goes outside to yell at her dad and be like, what the hell is this about?
A normal dad would go to a foreign country on a secret mission and bring his daughter back a t-shirt, not a person.
Yeah, that sounds really sketchy when you say it like that.
She has to blend in as a normal American teenager.
Wouldn't the best way for her to be undetected be for her to just hide out in the house? Right? Like, they're gonna go through this whole thing because it's a Disney Channel movie where, like, she has to go to school and be a normal girl and all this stuff, but, like, wouldn't the best thing be for her to just hide out and do school at home? I was homeschooled. I'm sure the Princess Protection Program can get her some curriculum for the time being.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen, Dad. She's a princess.
I guess that wouldn't be a very good movie.
The room is not yours. It's ours. We share it.
So Carter goes back into her room that is now her and a princess's room and teaches said princess the concept of sharing.
So I thought princesses had designer clothes and stuff.
Loan her some of your stuff.
That night, her dad's like, oh, by the way, she's gonna need to borrow a bunch of your clothes. And she's like, the hits just keep on coming.
We'll try again.
And then I guess they're struggling to get her to eat. So he sends Carter back in to try one more time to get her to eat a slice of pizza.
Last chance to eat something.
Looks like damn good pizza, by the way.
I wish to sleep.
Oh, somebody eats the pizza. Also, I think she only put one piece of pizza on the plate, but there were two on the plate when she came in. That might just be me. I could be wrong.
You may help me prepare for bed.
Awkward.
Here.
Yeah, Carter's got, like, actual girl pajamas that are, like, boys' sleep pants and, like, a big sweatshirt. That's what I wear for pajamas.
Por favor, ¿dónde está el baño?
Can I use the bathroom? Even I know that, and I don't speak very much Spanish.
Gracias.
It's funny, too, because I'm pretty sure Selena Gomez is half Mexican, so her pretending not to understand any Spanish is probably funny to her. Then Rosie, I'm just gonna keep calling Rosie because that's, you know, an easier name for me than Rosalina in my terrible American accent. Rosie freaks out over a lizard.
Come on.
Carter's like, get used to it, it's Louisiana.
She's gonna be a royal king.
Oh, I get it, because of the royalty. I got you, Carter. The next morning, the family's breakfast routine kind of frightens Rosie.
Don't be shy, Rosie. Grab whatever looks good.
Hate that feeling of just being in somebody else's space and, like, not knowing what the routine is. It's always awkward.
Where are we going? School.
And then Carter's like, come on, we gotta go to school.
Goodbye.
And Rosie comes back in to say, like, a proper goodbye to the dad.
Princess 379 is in position. Stage 4 is complete.
Why did they make the dad such a zaddy in this movie? Can I say that? Respectfully, why did they make Major Mason so attractive? Is it because he stands up for the rights of women? Is that why? I think that might be why.
Oh, that's just my cousin. Get outside.
The cover story is that Rosie is Carter's cousin. Once they're off on the bus, Major Mason gets on his very fancy spy FaceTime that he has in his Jeep.
She's safe.
Look at that tech.
Would this be the queen?
At school, Carter's friend, who's like that boy friend that every girl in a Disney Channel movie has, where like he's into her but she doesn't realize it yet. He's recording everybody because everybody's getting ready for homecoming. They need to know who the homecoming queen is gonna be.
What is this homecoming?
You never heard of homecoming?
I didn't go to homecoming either, so you know.
We have no such thing where I'm from.
It happens. I didn't have a homecoming. I was homeschooled all the way through.
You're supposed to act like a normal American girl. You're supposed to blend in.
Carter's being very hard on Rosie. She has her friend sit in the seat next to her so that Rosie can't sit by her, which is kind of mean, but I mean, I guess Carter didn't expect any of this to happen.
May I have this seat?
I'm sorry, I think it's school property.
Donnie, the jerk from before, is a jerk to Rosie, and then he takes one look at Rosie and he's like, a girl that I find conventionally attractive, I do have manners now.
Comment allez-vous aujourd'hui?
Apparently they're in French class, which Rosie excels at because she speaks like a bunch of different languages being a princess.
L'anglais, le français, l'espagnol, le portugais, l'italien, et le japonais.
Even I'm not fluent in Portuguese, much to the chagrin of my grandmother, who wants me to be fluent in Portuguese. Back at the palace, her mother is being questioned by the guy who's taking over the throne for now. Like, we all know that he's not going to take over and this isn't going to have a sad ending. It's a Disney Channel movie. But anyway, the mother, who, by the way, looks very good for being imprisoned,
You'll never be the king of Costa Luna.
is like, you'll never find my daughter.
Perhaps we should think happy thoughts.
This dude is such a cartoonish Disney villain, isn't he?
They have crowned him their king.
He's got that flair.
Act the line.
Rosie, who doesn't understand waiting in line as royalty, almost cuts without realizing, but then Donnie the jerk
Come on up with me.
is like, oh, you can cut because I'm into you or something. So she cuts all of these kids.
Qu'est-ce que c'est ça?
Mystery meat.
Ugh. Don't ever eat the mystery meat. Even I know that.
What is it?
A hamburger?
The lunch lady is very concerned that this 16-year-old has never seen a hamburger before. And then she has one of those moments where she's like, it's high school and I'm the new girl and I don't know where I can sit, which gives me a lot of anxiety. Just thinking back to being a teenager.
Who does she think she is?
Who does she think she is? Having good table manners? Gross.
What are you doing? Eating a hamburger.
Carter goes over to teach her how to eat a hamburger.
Speaking fluent French in class.
Well, I mean, you were in French class, I think. And if not, people are fluent in multiple languages. And she knows like 6 different languages, so she's bilingual times 3. It's like bilingual math anyway.
We'll be taking nominations for the homecoming court.
And then the announcement comes out about homecoming queen. To get a homecoming queen, you need to elect 3 princesses.
Nominees must be girls of exemplary character.
Yes, they have to be women because gender binaries are a big thing for high schools.
You vote for royalty here? We're a democracy. We're into voting.
America's not really a democracy anymore. And right now, we're just kind of in the hands of 6 people who think they can take everybody's rights away, even though 3 of them were appointed by a guy who tried to overthrow the government, and one of them has a wife that also tried to overthrow the government. Allegedly, but I'm getting off track. Anyway.
I would like to nominate my cousin, Carter Mason, to be your queen.
Rosie, in very good nature, nominates Carter to be homecoming queen, which embarrasses Carter. And then she leaves, and it cuts to them walking back home after school, which gives off the impression that she was so pissed she literally walked out of the lunch room cafeteria. She walked out of the cafeteria and just booked it home on foot. And Rosie had to just follow her.
You cannot order me to do anything. Want to bet?
They have a fight, and then her dad has to break it up. He's like, whoa, 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 it's been one day. How do you guys hate each other already?
It'll work.
He's not aware that he's in a DCOM, apparently, which I guess he has no reason to.
A normal person who has never seen a hamburger before can order one in 6 languages?
Really?
Supportive dad moment. So after Rosie spends the night being sad in a lot of very blue moonlight.
Hey, Ernie. Hello. Oh, great.
And we hear some more bad ADR.
Perhaps I could learn the chores. You know, that's the best idea you've had.
Rosie asks Carter if she can help in the bait shop.
We'll start you off easy. Inventory.
Carter thinks this is a great idea to pawn inventory off of on the new girl. And of course it's bug inventory, poor thing. After a little while, things go very wrong.
Carter, what's Rosie doing in the bait shop?
Inventory.
Chores?
They go and help her get cleaned up.
I'm alright.
And then they laugh, because it is kind of funny.
It's not funny.
And then while Carter and her dad are planning the most American of all American dinners,
Pizza and burgers.
Yeah.
Rosie apparently has been making them all real food.
To thank you for helping me clean up the mess that I made in your shop of bugs.
Well, homemade food. There's nothing wrong with burgers and pizza. I particularly love burgers and pizza.
It's bait. I'm aware. Okay.
Come on, Carter. She's trying.
It is for you.
For me.
She even made everybody flower crowns. Wait, where's Carter's flower crown?
So she taught me many family recipes.
Carter, put on the flower crown. There you go. Now we all have flower crowns.
Arroz con pollo a la fiore. Yeah, that sounds kind of fancy.
I think that's just chicken and rice, right? Arroz y pollo?
No, it's chicken and rice.
Yeah, I was right.
Oh, I haven't had a real home-cooked meal since...
Forever.
They insinuate, I guess, the mom died, because this is a DCOM. They never talk about it at all. They kind of are just like, yeah, it's whatever. This is the only time there's any real allusion to it in the movie, I think.
Must be nice to play peasant for a day.
And then Carter gets upset at Rosie, which isn't fair.
Do you excuse me?
And she knows it, and the dad knows it, and poor Rosie ran off crying. And so without even saying anything, she's like, yeah, I'll go fix it. I fucked up. She walks into the room to see Demi Lovato being the most poised sad that I've ever seen anybody be.
1 month before my coronation, our palace was attacked.
She tells her whole life story, and Carter feels very bad.
Did he tell you we had to leave my mother behind?
She's like, I wouldn't have been so hard on you if I knew that. I also find it very funny because at this time, as Demi Lovato was being cast as like all of these characters that were like girly girls, they were putting out like the closest thing to a heavy metal album that Disney would allow. So it's very interesting to see the process of Disney trying to shoehorn someone into a category that they just don't belong in for a number of reasons, but then also having to cave as they push back in other areas. So, you know what? That's interesting.
Let's just start over. I only want to be this typical American teenager.
And she's like, okay, we can try again, but you gotta try better to be an all-American teenager. And it's like this poor teenage girl doesn't know what that is. No one told her. She's doing the best she can.
What is it? It's a bowling alley.
Carter takes Rosie bowling. The guy that's into Carter works there.
What size?
Oh, I do not know. All of my shoes are made for me.
Rosie doesn't know her shoe size. And then the guy that's into Carter helps her put on her shoes, like Cinderella.
Why, thank you, Edward.
It's Edwin, actually.
Oh, I like the name Edwin.
Nobody ever does that for us.
And the mean girls are like, wow, I'm upset that that boy that none of us show any interest in did something nice for that girl. And then they just stick their feet in the face of these young children. Very strange. Donnie's also fawning over Rosie. Everybody's into Rosie.
Carter.
Right.
I see the way you look at him. It's the same way that Ed looks at you.
Rosie's like, Carter, you know your best friend is into you, right? And she's like, nah. And she's like, all right, fine. We don't have to talk about it. Just teach me how to bowl.
Impossible.
And then, of course, she's great at bowling. I love this shot because we never actually see the pins go down. So I'm just imagining Jamie, even if she, like, threw a gutter ball, had to, like, look, like, proud of herself and then walk away. I think that's very funny.
Yeah, our lane's getting a little crowded.
So with Carter sad that Rosie is really popular, and the mean girls mad and worried that Rosie is going to steal Homecoming Queen from them,
You are such a natural.
they decide to be her fake friends and try to, like, get under her skin.
Why do you care so much for this boy, Donnie? Who says I care for him?
That night, Carter admits that she's in love with Donnie.
I've been totally in love with him since like the 3rd grade when he kissed me under the basketball hoop. Is that what you want to hear?
Wait, so Donnie kissed Carter back in the day and he can't even remember her name? Low. I know it was in 3rd grade, but dude.
Well, just want a job so bad, just go get one yourself.
Carter then tells Rosie to get a job, so Rosie does. And naive as Rosie is, she ends up with a job at the Mean Girls' father's frozen yogurt place.
You have to wear this.
I know that's supposed to embarrass her, but it just is an adorable hat. I would wear that hat. You say I won't. I won't. Or I will. I will wear the hat.
We all want you to succeed at your first job.
Oh, this is so sad. So in true Mean Girl fashion, she goes out to the car, they flip up the flip phones, and they're all texting everybody they know to come and humiliate the new girl.
Here she is, folks. A future homecoming princess.
Carter's hanging out with Edwin.
Girls like Chelsea and Brooke, all they care about is shoes.
And talking about how she's going through her I'm not like the other girls phase. We all went through that phase, unfortunately. It wasn't our fault.
I just want to do something more important with my life, like my dad.
And then for somebody who's been really getting on Rosie for not blending in, she almost gave away the my dad's a super spy secret really casually.
It does sell some sick bait.
Right.
Meanwhile, Rosie's struggling. We've all felt like that. I don't know if we've all literally been drowning in froyo, but we've all felt like we were literally drowning in froyo. You know the feeling of literally drowning in froyo figuratively? It's that feeling. Chelsea sends this guy in to make Rosie's life even worse. She's slipping all over the place. Froyo is overflowing everywhere. Carter and Edwin show up to save her.
You said to get a job. Not this one. This job's for losers.
Wow, way to make her feel worse in the moment, Carter.
What is happening?
Froyo's all in her eyelashes.
I'm not a fool, and she cannot make something out of me that I am not.
And Rosie is a good person. She's a poised person. She's self-assured. She's like, I don't need to get even. You know, I'm gonna do the right thing and not get revenge. Which, very good for her, but also, girl, you're dripping in froyo.
I will turn the other cheek.
It's on your eyelids. There needs to be repercussions for this.
Yeah, well, I'm not a princess.
And Carter agrees with me because she takes a big thing of froyo and dumps it on the kid who turned the overflow system on. Wow, he acted like he got maimed.
She can't be a princess.
But then Mean Girl Chelsea is very upset because she is really starting to think that she can't take away Rosie's literal overnight popularity and that she will be queen.
No, I'm the queen. It's my destiny.
So one mini meltdown.
If she never becomes princess, she can't be the queen, right?
And another evil plan later. We cut to Carter teaching Rosie how to burp, as is the American way. And Rosie's teaching Carter about how being a princess or being a leader of any kind really is about what you can give to your people.
My mother told me that my father never called himself king.
A sentiment that a lot of world leaders could really learn in the here and now. I say as an American looking at Joe Biden, Jesus Christ, dude, what the fuck?
I want to make a difference.
To do something more important with your life?
They have a bonding moment. It's cute. And then back at the castle, this guy calls her mother back in. Why? How many outfits does she have down there in a prison cell with her? I have questions. Her makeup's perfect. She looks better than I've ever looked in my life, including right now. And she's supposed to be in a jail cell?
I want to look my best when I announce my engagement today.
He tells her that he's gonna announce that he and she are gonna get married, and she's like, yeah, fucking right. And he's like, yeah, I know. But your daughter, it'll draw her out of hiding if she thinks this is happening. He doesn't even bother to try to actually force her into marriage because even he knows that she would never.
And your princesses are...
The next day at school, Chelsea, Rosie, and Carter are all crowned homecoming princesses, which means one of them will be homecoming queen. It's a big juxtaposition of like very intense like spy stuff and saving lives and you know, government takeovers and like high school drama. The Disney Channel specialty.
You're supposed to vote for Carter instead of Rosie. Not Carter and Rosie.
They're able to vote twice? I don't know how that system works.
I am popular.
Okay, you're popular. Calm down.
I talk to you?
Me? Her?
And then Donnie asks Rosie to homecoming right in front of Carter. Carter gets very understandably upset and Rosie's like, no, piss off.
No. Will you excuse me?
She looks so angry that he's even asking. Like, how could you do this to my friend? Rosie's a homie, we respect it.
That was the most humiliating thing that has ever happened to me.
Again, this looks like she ran all the way home, which is a very funny and dramatic thing to think.
I like Donnie would never go out with me.
Then he is not worthy of you.
Rosie gives Carter a princess pep talk.
You think that being a princess is superficial. Well, it is a little bit about how you look.
Yeah, don't act like you're not in the public eye and that those things don't matter. They definitely do matter.
But more importantly,
Not that they should, but, you know, we live in a society, so they do.
it is about what you have to offer the world.
And then because the whole point is that being a princess is not about how you look, it's more about how you can help your community. We have not a shopping montage, but a charity montage. Nice. Oh, I spoke too soon. Now we have a shopping montage. They try on a bunch of dresses. I never got to go to prom or homecoming or anything. But one time, I got off work early with a couple of my friends, and we were going to see a movie, and we had some time to kill, so they brought me into a dress shop, and we, like, tried on prom dresses. We didn't bother, like, making any of the assistants help us or anything like that, but we tried them on, so I got to, like, try on the prom dress. That was fun. I also wore a prom dress every day at work when I worked on this movie Blockers, but that's a whole other situation.
I can't believe you actually have to do this. Oh, no, you don't.
You don't? I thought that was the classic princess thing.
Wait, then why am I doing it? Because it is funny.
Oh. I guess she did make her count worms, so they're even.
I hate you. You do? No.
Yeah, I hate you like in the weird chill kind of I hate you, not the real I hate you. Americans have a weird way of talking, I know. The next day at the library, this mean girl who I cannot remember her name, Brooke. Her name is Brooke, I just remembered it.
Princess Rosalinda?
She finds an article about Princess Rosalina and puts two and two together. This is what I said would happen at the beginning of the movie. Why didn't you just let her do school at home?
He knows she won't allow her mother to be forced into marriage.
Absolutely.
Major Mason's boss is calling him and is like, look, they're trying to draw her out of hiding by saying that the dictator dude is gonna marry her mom. Don't let her know this. I love the bullshit numbers and thing that says, like, satellite, whatever, to make this look more secret agent-y. I love it.
Hey, Chelsea. Don't call me that.
Brooke interrupts Chelsea, bossing everybody else around, getting homecoming ready, to tell her the big news.
I'm pretty not smart.
Why can't you be both? ¿Por qué no los dos? Did I say that right? I probably said that wrong. Sorry if you speak Spanish. I'm bad at Spanish. And English. And talking in general. So these frenemies are frenemies again. They go to Carter's house to basically give Rosie an ultimatum.
I will give you a reward for keeping my secret.
Oh, we know you will.
They have this super secret information, and I'm not saying you should blackmail somebody. Blackmailing somebody like that is wrong.
One true homecoming queen.
And that's me.
But I love how they just use it for the small potatoes of drop out of homecoming because we don't think we could beat you.
You may take my crown, but you will not take Carter's.
And Rosie's like, fine, I'll drop out, but Carter gets to stay in.
Let Bake Girl play princess for one night.
And Carter's not a big threat to them, so they're like, fine. But then they also take her dresses and throw them in a mud puddle that I swear was not there when they launched them out of the car, but anyway.
General Kane is forcing my mother into marriage.
Worse than all of this is that Rosie has found out the news about the alleged marriage between her mother and this dictator.
I have to leave, Carter.
So she's like, I gotta go back. And Carter's like, you can't do that. And she's like, I gotta go back.
Why am I letting this happen?
Carter is determined not to let this happen, though.
I'm a friend of Princess Rosalinda, and she's about to make a very big mistake.
Next, we see her calling the dressmaker who Rosie told her about and said he's like an old family friend. I would call him in an emergency. I'd trust him with my life. She calls him and is like, okay, I have a plan. It starts with you making two very specific dresses.
I'm gonna need two dresses.
You would think Carter would just go to her super secret spy father and just tell him to put Rosie on lockdown. But what she does is way more climactic, I guess. It's way more interesting. For this plan to work, Carter needs Rosie to stay until homecoming. So she's like, look, can you just help me help all of these other people have a great homecoming? And Rosie agrees. Because what is the safety of her family to come in the way of homecoming?
What are you girls up to?
Oh, just having some friends over from school.
Major Mason's just like, a swarm of teenagers at my house unannounced? Okay. Doesn't bother me. But then back at the castle, oh no!
And you are sure about this homecoming dance, Senor Elegante?
Dude, you were supposed to be chill.
I feel in one way I'm betraying my queen.
Be chill. He tells him where the girls are gonna be, and very specifically he tells him that the blue dress is this dress that he's made for Rosie.
To complement Princess Rosalinda's skin tone.
Keep that in mind.
You have a dress to finish.
Two, actually.
Because double plot twist, he is indeed still a homie. Nice.
He says you look best in pink. And this one is mine.
You will notice that Rosie's dress is the pink one and Carter's dress is the blue one. So you see where this is going? Carter's gonna try to take her place and be abducted in place of Rosie, how is that gonna help? How does that help? Because then, sure, Carter will be in jail, but without this plan, the dude wouldn't have known where to pick Rosie up anyway, so it's not like this kidnapping was inevitable. I have a lot of questions, but anyway.
Helen's House of Beauty is open for business.
It's the night of homecoming. They're getting ready.
I may have to stop calling you pal.
Dad, you can call her pal. Everybody's a pal. Yeah, if you're wondering how they got around the fact that Selena and Demi don't really look that much alike, masks. They came up with the idea of a masquerade.
I didn't say anything about masks.
But only for most of them. They didn't tell the mean girl, so she gets left out, which is funny.
I'm stuck. Donnie!
Ooh, jeez, that's rough.
You okay?
Get on!
Jamie's great. I love her. So while they're having fun at homecoming, Donnie has the nerve to be like, hey, you're in a dress now, Carter, so now I like you.
Before I put on this dress, you couldn't even remember my name.
And Carter's like, hell no. My friend Rosie told me that I deserve better, and I believe her.
Isn't this what you've been waiting for since like 3rd grade?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. So you remember the kiss, and you know how much so you've been leading her on and pretending to forget her name? Fuck this guy.
Shut up and fix me!
And then in the bathroom, the two mean girls are fighting.
A princess is supposed to be a girl of exemplary character. You're not even kind, honest, or charitable in any way.
Yeah, you tell her.
You're not even nice.
Just like the most low-key trash talk. It's like, you're not a very nice person. But Chelsea really isn't that nice, so, you know, it's accurate. It's accurate trash talk.
There you are! Finally!
And I love this because then Chelsea runs into the guy who's trying to overthrow the government without knowing who he is and just bosses them around.
And make sure no one gets in that dance unless they're students from Lake Monroe.
Bossing around a foreign dictator without knowing it? Way to gaslight gatekeep girl boss, Chelsea.
Let's put on our masks.
So it's right before Homecoming Queen is announced. Everybody puts on their mask.
Go with me now, princesa. And no harm will come to your friend.
And the bad guys find Carter thinking that it's Rosie, and they kidnap her.
Princess Rosie Gonzalez.
And then Rosie gets named Homecoming Queen, which I thought she dropped out, so I wonder how that worked. I guess it was impossible for her to drop out, so they really leveraged that information for nothing anyway.
I've learned about friendship and loyalty.
As she's giving this heartfelt speech about friendship and honor, and how the real princesses were the friends we made along the way, we're seeing cuts of Carter being taken out a back entrance.
Carter, where are you?
I remember being emotionally riveted by this scene as a child, just thinking this was cinema at its peak.
I need to find Carter.
Rosie realizes that Carter's missing and goes looking for her.
My crown. Hand it over.
Chelsea demands the crown. I don't know what the point is once you haven't been named queen, but she goes to give her the crown and then Chelsea falls in the pool, which everybody saw coming because why else would you have two characters standing in front of that giant pool?
General Kane.
And then Rosie's like, no, I'm the person you're supposed to be kidnapping, which, like, Rosie.
The plan was working perfectly.
The plan was working. I don't know what the plan would have accomplished, but it was working.
This is not your fight.
So they're about to take Rosie away, and surprise!
General Kane.
Major Mason and his boss are here to save the day. So I guess that was the point. She was never actually going to get kidnapped. It was all just a setup so that they would catch the guy so that Rosie could go back and take the crown back. Okay, it's a better plan than I gave it credit for.
Get him.
No, let me.
And then Major Mason gets to take down the evil dictator. Hell yeah.
How does it feel to be brought to justice by a 16-year-old girl, General?
Man stands up for human rights and takes out warlords. The zaddiest zaddy energy. Sorry.
I can't believe you would do this for me.
That's what princesses do.
The two girls have another moment, and then
Nobody goes anywhere.
Chelsea shows up wet and takes the crown.
Let her go. She needs it way more than I do.
Wow, what a great victory, Chelsea. You did it.
Oh, I'm in so much trouble.
So the dad didn't know? So that wasn't part of the plan? That would have been such a much better plan, Carter. Why wasn't that the plan? I'm so confused.
Dad, you would have never let me do it.
You're lucky I was here.
He doesn't go off on her the way that I would if my child tried to get kidnapped by a dictator on purpose, but she did an admirable thing, so he's really proud of her.
You and me, pal.
You and me, Dad.
They have this teary father-daughter moment. It's cute. And then we cut straight to a month later, or I actually don't know how long she was in Louisiana. It feels like it was only like less than a week, which is such a short amount of time for everything that she's been through. But we cut to her coronation. She becomes queen. Major Mason's up there with her mom. I take it to mean that he and the mom are together now. I also believe that Carter and the best friend Edwin are together now. I'm going solely off of the fact that these are two people of the opposite gender who are standing next to each other. And that's generally how you can tell who's together in a DCOM. But anyway.
Long live Queen Rosie!
Yeah, long live Queen Rosie! Hell yeah! I have to imagine that now their parents are going to get married. I don't know if this is a headcanon or if it's canon, but it's implied that, like, to me, in my brain, that they're, like, now going to be, like, actual sisters, and they're gonna live in the palace. That's what I like to think happened anyway. And now we get played out into credits by a very Demi Lovato song from the late 2000s. I don't care what anybody says, Don't Forget was a fire album, Demi, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I know you watch every single video, so I'm talking directly to you, Demi. It was fire. Remember December? Banger! But anyway, that's the end. I forgot this movie existed, and then as I watched it earlier, planning to make this video this afternoon, I just got very happy and nostalgic watching it back. It's obviously a DCOM. It's about the quality that you would expect from a DCOM, but you know what? I really believe that they put more effort into this one than a lot of other DCOMs I can think of right now, so I think that's admirable. This was a huge event. If you were around during that time watching Disney Channel, you know how hard they pushed this movie. This was like the movie of the year. This was like blockbuster status, because you've got their two biggest stars pretty much co-starring together, and then they like did music for it, and like it was this big thing, and it was a moment. But that's it for this video. I promise that I will not take almost a year to talk about another DCOM. Like I think it's been almost a year since we've talked about a DCOM, but I promise I'm gonna go back to talking about more DCOMs. So let me know which ones were your favorite. I've gotten a few requests soon. Of course, I did none of the requests and went straight to this thing that no one asked for, but I wanted to talk about and ramble. So I've done that now. So I'm gonna wrap it up here now that I've gotten it out of my system. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. Everything you do to support this channel means the world to me. If you're new here and you're a fan of nonsense, maybe consider sticking around because I post nonsense all the time. And remember, my name is Avery. I'm a YouTuber if you say so, because thanks to you guys, this is technically a YouTube channel. Bye!